Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a really cool box that I've been playing with for really quite some time now, just taking my time savoring it and enjoying it. It's on United Archives, and it's Duke Ellington, the complete orchestral suites, 1931 to 1960. There are more orchestral suites. I mean, I've talked about, for example, his version of the Peer Gynt suites, which isn't in here because this is only 1931 to 1960. But there's a lot of stuff. This is 5 discs. I mean, Duke Ellington was an unbelievably fecund composer. He wrote tons and tons and tons of music. So much music that, frankly, it's hard to get your brain around it. And that's one of the reasons why I think our brains haven't gotten around it yet, number one. The other reason, of course, is that he was an African American who wrote jazz, which sort of, knocks him off the pedestal as far as classical audiences go, which is just horrible because this is classical, if ever anything was. And thirdly, because he wrote so much and wrote for his own ensemble, it's tough to perform unless it's arranged for other ensembles, more conventional ensembles, and then published that way. And so, there are all kinds of issues, logistical issues, but the bottom line is that he was a musical genius and that the music is extraordinary. He's one of the great 20th century composers in any medium, in any style. And there, like I said, is tons and tons of stuff. Someone should get their hands on these and arrange them for a normal symphonic ensemble or a large chamber orchestra or something like that, and then just start playing them one after the other in wonderful modern sound, assuming, of course, they have the style. So I want to tell you what's in here. These are the original recordings from 1931 to 1960. So the sound ranges from, to, okay, it's all right, it's decent. We need modern recordings and good sound. And I am having a cat. Come here, honey. Listen. If you're gonna come up here, you have to say hello. So this is Finster, as you know. Finster is always jumping on top of stuff, aren't you, dear? Do you want to go down now? Okay. Thank you for visiting and shedding as well. But anyway, so Mildred's over here too somewhere. But as usual, she's hiding. So here we have a very nice booklet, actually, with notes on each of the pieces and pictures and all kinds of goodies here. So that's nice to have. And the suites are not just suites, there's like other stuff. There's tone poems, and it's amazing. Okay, so in 1930, starting with the Creole Rhapsody, which is in 2 parts, and then the Creole Rhapsody, you get it twice, pardon me. Then Reminiscing in Tempo, which has 4 parts. Symphony in Black, which is about a 10-minute long orchestral work. Then we have Diminuendo in Blue, and then Crescendo in Blue. Then Black, Brown, and Beige, which was from 1944, roughly. I mean, this is actually an enormous work with all kinds of movements and sections and songs and things. And the complete thing has been reconstructed, actually, now. And it was available for a while, so you could probably find it. This has 4 numbers from it. It's Work Song, Come Sunday, which is like the most famous one, the Blues, and 3 Dances. And then we've got the Perfume Suite. So that's disc 1. That's right, disc 2. Make sure I have the right one. Disc 2, there they are. Doesn't that look like fun? I wish I could have seen them, I really do. New World A-Comin', parts 1 and 2. The Deep South Suite, which is in 4 movements. The Beautiful Indians, in 2 movements. The Overture to a Jam Session, which has 2 numbers. And the Liberian Suite. So that's on this one. Disc number 3. Wow. You have the Symphomaniac. I think that's a great title. It's a wonder that someone hasn't used it before. It's wonderful. Or Symphomaniac, what does it say here? Symphomaniac or Bust. And How You Sound. Two movements. Then the Tattooed Bride, not to be confused with the Bartered Bride or Other Brides. That's 11 minutes, solid, long tone poem thing. And then A Tone Parallel to Harlem, which is one of the works, of course, which has been arranged for a more conventional symphonic ensemble and performed as such. Nimi Yarvi made a recording of it in Detroit. The Controversial Suite. I love that title too. And then the Newport Jazz Festival Suite. So that's disc 3. Disc 4, Diminuendo and Crescendo in Blue. That's a revision of the previous Diminuendo in Blue and Crescendo in Blue, and it's about twice as long. It's greatly extended. That's another thing we have with Ellington is his versions of things. How do you know which one to use and which one to do? Is there a definitive text, which is often a problem in reproducing what he did? And then we have a Drum is a Woman. This is a big, long, varied thing. Usually when women are involved, he sort of got more eloquent and rhapsodic and extensive. And then we've got Such Sweet Thunder. That's a big suite too. It's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 movements. The last one of which is called Circle of Fourths. Love that. Then the Nutcracker Suite, his version of the Nutcracker Suite, Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite. It's delicious. It was one of Dave's faves, that disc that has the Nutcracker and also the Peer Gynt suites. And that's also with Ellington doing it himself, but in stereo for Columbia. So it's a little bit different from this. This was recorded in Hollywood, California. And then a bonus, a bit more of the Perfume Suite, Date with Duke, which we've already seen some of. So there you go. That is a lot of music. It's like 5+ hours of music. And I really think that it's a tragedy that we don't get to hear these things more often in conventional concerts. Jazz ensembles aren't playing it that much either. It seems to me, at least, you'd have to reconstitute the ensemble that he used, and his name is honored in the breach. And it's time that we didn't honor it in the breach, but we actually started playing the bloody stuff. And someone's got to get to work on it. I don't know what's going on out there because I don't know about jazz musicology the way I do sort of classical musicology, and about people doing critical editions and how they approach it and what the methodology is and all that. I don't know what you would do in the case of Ellington. Maybe some of you who know better than I do could give some indication of what's doing, to somehow preserve, protect, and make performable the legacy of this absolutely amazing man. One of the great voices in 20th century music from anywhere. And of course, it's typical that, America, the United States, doesn't value its best artists if it recognizes them at all. I mean, yeah, he got an award here or there. He got like a posthumous Pulitzer or something. I don't know. He got some awards and whatnot, but that's not the same thing as getting played, as getting performances. And this is music that deserves to be heard. It's so joyful and so much fun and so heartfelt and soulful and full of panache and elegance and verve. I mean, there's not an insincere note anywhere, and it doesn't sound like anybody else. And so I am very happy that I've been working my way through this over the past year or two. The complete orchestral suites of Duke Ellington on United Archives with Duke Ellington and his various ensembles over a 30-year period. What a legacy. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.